I'm Stephen H., host of the KnowDude gaming show, and here as your guide through the wonderful land of Yharnam. So, last episode was pretty lengthy. I'm sorry, I got on a couple tangents and oh gosh. Sorry, I got on a couple tangents. But I hope it was helpful. You know, the first area of the game is really crazy to have to go through if you've never played a Souls-like game before. So just, you know, don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged, guys. You can do it. Alrighty, so this episode we're going to go through the first two bosses in the game, the Cleric Beast and Father Gascoigne. Now, the Cleric Beast... Hold on. Sorry, I thought I had a burp. Anyway, so the Cleric Beast is actually an optional boss. You don't have to fight him. He doesn't really have any story relevance. Yeah, so when you fight him and nothing happens, don't be disappointed. However, I would recommend fighting him because he gives you some pretty cool stuff. Alright, so we are going to go to the Cleric Beast. So, last episode we unlocked all of our shortcuts, so we don't have to go through the mob. We can just go through here and go through the house to access the Great Bridge. So we'll do that. And yeah, you guys have already seen this, so I will... Alright, actually I have to kill this guy because he follows me. Okay, so remember how I said that I would show you guys... Oh gosh, there's the burp. Remember how I said that I would show you guys the giant later? Well, the giant is guarding the door to the Cleric Beast boss room. So, he has a bunch of crows around him. Don't rush in, because the crows will peck you and he will smash you. So, what you want to do is you want to be using the heavy form of the Hunter's Axe. Of course, if you're not using the Hunter's Axe, this doesn't apply. What I like to do is use the heavy form, use a charged R2 on one of these crows, because it'll kill the crows, and it also hits the big guy. Oh yeah, by the way, that... I'm sorry I didn't cover that in the other video. The charged R2 for the charged R2 for your halberd is probably one of the most powerful attacks in the whole game. It's honestly one of the best. So use that a lot if you're not good at close-in combat, because it has lots of range. Okay, but we're gonna fight the Cleric Beast. So here he is. And here, there he is. There he is. What a handsome boy. Okay, so the Cleric Beast. Don't be you're gonna freak out. Just, your adrenaline will be pumping. Try and keep cool. If you want, you can, ow, yeah, he has a jump attack, that's not fun. Oh crap, come on, stupid kid. If you want, you can turn off the, music, which helps. Anyway, but I'm gonna talk about how to fight him. Okay, so, as you can see, all of his attacks are in the front. You're gonna want to go around to the back. Okay, see right there where he paused for a little bit? He was using his grab attack. That will wreck you. Thankfully it's highly telegraphed, so you don't really have to worry about it that much. Okay, so I'm gonna run around to his back, and... Ow! I really don't like his offhand attack. Okay, so I like to dodge. He's really frustrating, or frustrating for me in case you haven't noticed, because it's one of those things where he's not even hard, it's just, for some reason, I just can't do well against him. At least not as well as I'd like. So, basically... Oh, you want this one? So, you're going to want to keep to his back. Be wary of his backhand attacks. Those are relatively frequent. Oh, and he got me. Okay, cool. So that was his grab attack. I'm not really sure how he grabbed me because I wasn't in front of him. So yeah, his two most damaging attacks are his grab attack and his jump attack. They're also his two easiest attacks to avoid. To avoid the grab attack, you just don't hang out in front of him. To avoid his jump attack, you dodge backwards. That's really it. So his, I don't think he becomes more, I don't think he becomes more frantic in his attacks. He does kind of move faster as the fight progresses and as his HP lowers. And so, ow, stop it. You can tell I really don't like the player boost. So I think really there's some tips for him. Dodge a lot. Keep to his behind. Don't give up. Don't be afraid to back off if you want, if you have to just kind of mentally regroup, but also don't just be timid. You have to get in there and you have to be deliberate about, you know, beating the crap out of him. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to beat him, because you won't be dealing damage. So yeah, I'm gonna light this lamp, and I'm actually gonna go back to the dream and level up before I fight Mr. Gascoigne. So yeah. Hello. She's fallen asleep. She does that sometimes. Welcome
What
home,
I
good
must have
hunter.
drifted off. What is it you desire? Very well, let me...
Alrighty. I think I need... Whoa. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. Okay. I'm going to put 1 into you, 1 into you, 2 into you. I like to have high strength just because I like dealing lots of damage. Alright. So, that was the Cleric Beast. He doesn't really have very much to him. Now we're gonna go and fight Father Gascoigne. Father Gascoigne is a little more complicated, and you'll see why in a bit. But first, a loading screen. Doot 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 doot. Do 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 do. Okay, and we're back. Alright, so get to Father Gascoigne. Remember that elevator that we unlocked? We're gonna go there. So you're gonna go down the steps, to the left, down the steps again, to the left again, down these steps, We go down lots of steps here in Yharnam. And there are going to be 2 giants. If you like practicing on them, to, you know, practice getting visceral attacks in, that's good. It doesn't really matter for me at this point, so, because I'm going to show you guys something else. So, they will follow you into this area. They will not follow you into the shortcut room. So that's a little place to run if they're after you. Alright. So remember, don't go up the steps. You want to go down the ladder. And past the pig. So one quick note for the pig is you don't want to start running until he roars. Because if you start running before he roars, odds are you're not going to have enough stamina to make it through the doorway without stopping. And if you stop to walk, you're probably going to die. Here, ladies and gentlemen, we have another long ladder. One of the hallmarks of Yharnam architecture. Okay. What a nerd. Got hit by his own fireball. So yeah. There were guys on the bridge, now there aren't. Because they all died. They all got hit by the fireball. Okay. But we did not, because we are smart. Okay. So, these guys. You can backstab this one, or you can lock onto this one and charge our crap out of it. I would recommend that. You get our bold hunter's marks, and this corpse, which was thrown way over there. Alright, so we're going to talk to Father Gascoigne. Now, you're going to want to enter Father Gascoigne if you're using the Hunter's Axe, you want to use its light form, because its light form, in its heavy form, you can't use your pistol, and visceral attacks are going to be key in this fight. They're very important. Alrighty, so he's over there chopping up a dude. We don't care, and we're gonna skip his cutscene. So here he is. Okay. So, he swings his axe a lot. For this one, it's really useful to dodge backwards. Except for when he does that. Ow. Dodge backwards and dodge to the side. Okay? So, as you can see, he has a blunderbuss. But we don't really care about him. Okay. So you saw how he was kind of dragging his axe on the ground? That is the easiest time to visceral attack him. Whenever his axe is... Ow. Shit. This is another one that I really don't like. Whenever his axe is trailing on the ground, that's when you want to shoot him. Okay, sir. That's right. Okay.
What's that?
So, unlike the cleric beast, you can stun lock him.
Oh, it sings to me.
And that's really helpful.
It's enough to make a man
be careful
sick.
though. Don't try and stun lock him out of an attack. You won't be able to. Gosh, I kind of wish I was using the Blades of Mercy. Here we go. See, tried to stun lock him
To
out.
show your true face, eh?
I died.
But a sporting hunt it was.
I kind of wish that I was using the Blades of Mercy, because then I would be able to beat him real easily. Anyway, so I'm gonna take another crack at him. A-do-do-do. Alrighty, back to Father Gascoigne. Here we are. Ow. Hello, sir. Good old Daddy Gascoigne. I've never managed to get his visceral states down. Okay. Alright. So in the second phase is a lot different. Because he's gone beast mode. Second phase, you're going to want to dodge forward. Second phase, you always dodge forward, not backwards. Because all of his... Ow. I was out all of his combos move forward. Basically, you dodge through them because you have invincibility. Or you could be smart. I didn't even realize you could do that. You could get him stuck on that right there. All right, so that's Father Gascoigne, and that is also the end of the second episode of Bloodborne for Beginners. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly have. So yeah, one thing before you light the lamp, or, you know, after, or whatever, or during the boss fight, be sure that you drop down onto this ledge and, search this body. This is the red jeweled brooch that the little girl told you about if you had not skipped through her dialogue like I did. Thing about this red jeweled brooch is that you don't want to give it to the girl. Because what happens when you give it to the girl is she goes crazy from grief and dies. So don't give it to her. What you do is you break it. Because it will give you a red blood gem, and in Odin Chapel there is a blood gem workshop tool which allows you to use blood gems on your weapons, and that's really useful. So don't kill the little girl, get a useful item.